Hi, I'm Stephen Walker. I'm a civil and commercial mediator.
Hi, I'm John Whitworth. I'm also a civil and commercial mediator, but I used to be a kidnap and ransom consultant or K&R consultant. When I am flying into a K&R situation, I don't know what I'm walking into or for how long I'm going to be away. So I end up taking inadequate clothing for all kinds of weather conditions. Pot noodles, because I never know if there's going to be any food, but typically there'll be a kettle. And family-sized jars of Senokot and Imodium.
There are a few things that I always take with me to mediation. Tissues, iPad, iPhone and chargers. Don't forget the chargers. And some chocolate digestives for when people get tired and hungry towards the end of the day. Normally, my mediations last around 8 hours, but they can run on to 18.
Kidnap negotiations can take weeks, sometimes months. There are many factors at play. My longest one was 18 months. The K&R negotiation process begins with the first contact from the kidnappers. You can tell a fair bit about the kidnappers by the amount of time between the capture and the first contact. If they make contact quickly, they tend to be opportunistic and less organised, but more risky. Often, this means you can settle the negotiation sooner. If they leave a longer amount of time, they increase the pressure and cause far more stress. They tend to be better organised, harder negotiators, but they know they will need to look after the victim to get the ransom.
On the mediation day, each party will first go to a separate room. That is theirs for the day. I'll have spoken to them before the mediation. Then we'll have a joint opening session where everyone gets their chance to speak.
Once the kidnappers have made contact, the negotiation begins. This will include a ridiculous demand, accompanied by threats, be they to kill, maim, rape, or injure. We make an initial offer which tends to be low, based on an agreed financial strategy. This is the beginning of trying to manage everyone's expectations. Finally, we negotiate between ourselves to a settlement.
After the joint opening session, I go and see the parties in their private rooms for confidential discussions. We explore issues and options. The parties exchange offers. I shuttle between the rooms, seeing how the gap can be closed. A lot of expectation management and reality recognition goes on until the parties reach a settlement.
By the time we reach settlement, the psychology changes and both parties cooperate to make the exchange happen. However, this is when the kidnappers can make a final push, making some pretty off-the-wall demands. We've been asked to provide camel saddles, drinks. Campari typically indicates they're from French-speaking areas, whilst Johnny Walker whiskey from English-speaking, generators and chainsaws. But whatever is agreed, you must be in a position to pay it immediately. But before you pay, you must get a positive proof of life to ensure the victim is still alive.
Once both parties have agreed a settlement in principle, we need to get it in writing. Until this is done, it's not legally binding. This needs to be drawn up and signed by the end of the mediation day. This is the red zone. People can change their minds. Lawyers always try and improve the deal in the writing.
Once a ransom has been agreed, we then arrange with the kidnapper a drop. This normally means the ransom is dropped off first, and we need to wait for the victim to be freed. I have seen ransoms disappear in small boats in swamps, parachuted into Somali deserts, or dropped into rubbish bins in Mauritania. The kidnappers are in control, and however they want the ransom to be dropped must be followed. So usually at one stage, the kidnappers will have both the money and the victim, and we must wait hours or sometimes days for the release. This is the most stressful time for us.
Talking about stress and emotions, in our next video, we deal with managing emotions in mediation and K&R.